Hello everyone, today we're going to review our worksheet number 4 and I will give you some instruction and tips for doing the activity. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is to slow down and calm down. I want you to focus on what is happening right now and not any other thought that might be distracting you or stressing you. For this, it's important that you take 3 slow belly breaths. Breathe really slowly 3 times and then think about 5 things that you can see in this moment, 4 things that you can feel, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, 1 thing that you like to taste. It's a way to focus on what you are feeling and what your senses are perceiving right now and to keep your head focused, okay? And then after you think about those things, you take another 3 slow belly breaths. Belly is your tummy, your stomach, right? Okay, once you did this, we can continue with our video. Just to remind you, a recommendation letter has to look like this, okay? Is what we've been working in the past few worksheets, and you have to start with this that I highlighted in light blue, and it's the date on one corner, and then who is directed to. Many of you use Dear Mrs. Algo or to whom it might concern. Both are correct, you just have to choose. Then the first part of your letter will be a short description of who are you going to describe, in this case recommend, and how do you know them, okay? And it is really short, just 2 lines about that, and that's it. And it's important that you establish your purpose about the letter, okay, in this first part. So once we are reading it, we know what the letter will be about. Then we have the description of the person that we are describing, and make sure that the qualities that you choose to include are related with the work that or the purpose of the letter. In this case, babysitter, in your activity, a scholarship in a university, okay? So we are not interested in, I don't know, the interests of that person. It might not be like suitable for this type of letter. You don't need to say that she is your best friend or that she is really good at keeping secrets. That's not really important in a babysitter work or in an application to the university. And then at the end, you need to give some contact information and say goodbye. Yeah, the typicals are yours sincerely, yours faithfully. They are really deep. And then your name at the end. Yep, that's just a review of what we've been working in the past. Now we're going to review the instructions for this activity. And this is the situation that you probably already read, and it's the same situation that you work in the worksheet number 3. And is that your best friend is applying for a scholarship at the university of their dreams. They ask you to write a recommendation letter describing their skills and achievements. You need to use your imagination, and you can describe a real friend or whoever you like. It can be an actress and character of a TV show, I don't care. But the idea is that they are applying for a scholarship at the university of their dreams, okay? The letter must include 120 words minimum. It can be more, but I don't want to read like 3 pages of a letter, okay? So that's the minimum. It cannot be less than that, okay? It can be a little bit more, but never less. Remember that you will work individually. I need each one of you to write your own letters. That's really important and something that you haven't done in the past. And you need to send it, as always, by mail. You will include 4 linking words from worksheet number 1 8 key vocabulary words from worksheet number 2, and you will follow the structure of a recommendation letter that we just reviewed and that we work also in worksheet number 3. The due date when you need to send it is June 18th or 10 days after you received it. Sometimes the dates change a bit. But always try to send it as, don't wait until the last minute, try to send it before. Okay, now we will review some tips for your activity when you're working. Remember, keep this in mind, okay? It's important that you do not translate the whole letter because some weird things will happen, okay? Try to use your own knowledge of English and what we've been working, the keywords that we used, and do not translate everything. Do not write the letter in Spanish and then just put it on a translator and that's it, because it will have many mistakes. It's important that you include your feedback. If you sent the letter number 3, the worksheet number 3, you had received my feedback. And it's important that you check what you did wrong in the last activity so you can fix it in this one. Check if you included everything I asked, the linking words, the key vocabulary, and the structure, and obviously the context of the letter. And then you can use colors to write the linking words and vocabulary, so it's easier for me to check if you have everything, and easy for you to check if you have everything before sending it, okay? And make sure it looks like a letter. A letter has a structure that I just showed you, and it cannot be like just a simple paragraph. It needs to have the date on top, your name at the end, and it needs to look like a letter. That's important. Another thing that I ask you to do is to include a self-evaluation at the end of your letter. So you will grade yourself from 1 to 7, in which 7 is very good and 1 is very bad, and in these following items, okay? And then you will calculate the average, el promedio, right? So for example, if you put yourself 7 in everything, you will have a 7 at the end. And the items here are really simple again. The first one is I work individually. If you send the draft, follow instruction, included the feedback, has a clear introduction, has a clear body, has a clear conclusion. I want you to be as honest as possible and consider all the work that you have been doing in the last few weeks. And that's it. That was the main idea for today's video. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions for me, remember to send me a mail with consulta in the asunto. Otra cosa que les quiero dejar claro es que cuando manden su actividad, por favor pongan su nombre y su curso en el asunto y el número de la actividad que es. Por ejemplo, si yo estuviese mandando mi trabajo, sería Beatriz Basualto, tercero, I don't know, A, guía número 4. That would be really helpful for me to check the hundreds of emails that I received. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Bye.